Every growing season, I look forward to seeing the plants grow, obviously. Even though it can be a challenge and a struggle sometimes, I think part of me enjoys that too. Adapting and overcoming challenges, I think, is always a fun thing. And looking back after a growing season going, I figured that out, or somebody helped me figure this out and it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it was going to. Sometimes those things are the most rewarding in this business.
Iowa Soybean Association Director Brent Renner of Klemme shares his perspectives on strengthening commodity prices, farming post-pandemic, and the biggest challenge facing his farm in this episode of The State of Soy. More after this.
My name is Charlie Brunker, and my wife and I and our kids run Precision Ag, try to be on the cutting edge every time we can. We turned on FMH, Precision Ag, crop insurance. We harnessed what we're already doing, and we'll never look back. Grandpa used to call a field, 100 acres, and now we're planting 90 of the 100 acres. Well, we're only paying for the 90 that we plant, and those details actually increased our APHs anywhere from 5 to 12% in the first year.
We're all looking forward to trying to return to some sense of normalcy in regards to the pandemic. I will say that in regards to farming in general, as I look back on last year, it wasn't too big of an effect on us. We were obviously able to social distance out here on the farm and pretty much continue on the way that we normally do. But if you want to really look at things with a magnifying glass, it of course affected a lot of things in regards to how we do what we do and in agriculture in general.
Brent Renner, a fourth-generation farmer, has been growing soybeans and corn and raising cattle in Hancock County for 25 years. He, like all Iowans, is anxious to get the pandemic in the rearview mirror and return some sense of normality to life and farming. A fast pace to planting season has helped with that transition.
The corn went in very quickly. As soon as those soil temperatures were warm enough, or we were comfortable with perfectly dry conditions to plant into, we didn't have to worry about mudding anything in this year. Soybeans went well also. I'm still waiting on about 120 acres of some winter production to come up for seed. We raise seed beans, so hoping to see that in a week or 10 days and we'll get her done.
Stronger commodity prices combined with an efficient planting season are also boosting farmer morale. But the change in economic fortunes comes with a reality check for Brent and all involved in production ag.
We had 3 or 4 really tough years navigating the price because of tariffs and all of that stuff, and that coupled with some challenging growing seasons really made our operation struggle. So these are welcome changes, but I will also say that the second half of that reality check in my mind is these prices aren't sustainable for one. They will come back down, and unfortunately all of our inputs will go up with them.
To avoid a day of reckoning, Brent says farmers must pay very close attention to cost of production and strike a balance between sustainability and profitability. He chose a 65-35 corn-soybean planting ratio this year, reserving a few of the farm's 1,700 acres for a late-season decision.
I usually have somewhere between 150 to 200 acres that I reserve the right to, I guess, what do you want to call them, limbo acres. I can change on a moment's notice in the spring. I only did 70 acres this year. They could have been corn on corn, but I chose to plant soybeans instead.
As Brent manages the current growing season, he's also thinking about the future. This includes welcoming the next generation into the operation and connecting with those who do not farm.
Really want them to know how important what we do is to their livelihoods, not only in regards to food, but the amount of products that we create with soybeans now is just kind of mind-boggling. It's so important for them to understand how critical what we do is to their livelihoods and continuing on with the next generation.